So I just got back from the gym a little while ago. It's a Sunday night. I'm doing a meal prep. I look a little bad, but that's okay. So I thought I would include you guys in it, see a couple of meals that I cook, and hopefully you guys can figure out how to cook them yourselves. I'm going to sit you back on the stove here. Okay, so for me, I'm making a turkey chili, which is going to be partially cooked on the stove and then in the crock pot. And for Chris, since he can allot more carbs and calories in general than I can, I'm making him a pasta, protein pasta with pesto sauce and shrimp. So we'll start with the chili. I am sauteing onions on the stove, really easy. Just put a little tiny bit of oil, dice up your one medium to large onion. I put a little lid on it to make it steam quicker because I'm impatient. Then to that, you're gonna add 1 tomato, a can of black beans. Not right away, hold on, sorry. Put your onions and saute them, wait till they're softened. Then you're gonna add, I have 1 pound of ground turkey. We're gonna put that in there, cook it all up. Add about a tablespoon of garlic, maybe 2 depending on how much garlic you like, plus 1 tomato, which we already are chopping up here. Add that all in, just get it cooked for starters, and then it's gonna go into the crock pot. I personally had made some black beans from the dried stuff, but it's easier if you get a can of black beans. It has instructions on the bag if you want to use dried black beans. Put it all together in the crock pot with, I put like 2 cups of tomato sauce, and then you need a lot of chili powder, about a 1/4 cup, some cumin, and I think that's really it. Some salt and pepper to taste. So that's what I do, and then I leave it on the crock pot for about half a day, and then it's ready. For Chris, he's getting this pasta, and then for the pesto, I just take a food processor, my little food processor here. I do a handful of fresh basil. I grow fresh basil, but you can get it at the grocery store like leaves, basil leaves, along with about a cup of spinach, and then I add Parmesan cheese, about half a cup to 3/4 of a cup, all in the food processor. Super easy. Just shove it on in the food processor, grind it all up. To that, you want to add, did I say spinach? You want to put like 2 cups of spinach, pack it on in there, and then add oil just to get the right consistency of sauce. I use olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, and I'll show you how to make it in a second because I need to catch up. Okay, so back to the chili. In my pot, I sauteed the onions, and now I just have the turkey in there cooking up. Just cook it on the stove, you know, normal stuff. You can add your spices now. You can't see me. You can add your spices now. As I said, the most is the chili powder. You need like a 1/4 cup of the chili powder to make it chili, you know. So after my meat gets a little more brown, I'm gonna add the diced tomatoes, about a cup of the tomato sauce, and my spices, and then we're gonna get it in the crock pot with the beans, and that's really it for that. It's really super simple, and look, it's like all veggies, so not very much carbs and protein, so it's a great meal for me, and it doesn't really take much time. You gotta do a little prep work and then leave it in the crock pot. And so in a second, I'm gonna show you how I make my pesto sauce, which is also really good because you can use it in a variety of settings, not just in pasta. Okay, so for my pesto, as I said, I grow my basil outside on in a pot. So just a little bit of basil. The more basil, the more flavorful. I just use a little bit though because I grow it myself. If I bought it, I use the whole pack because you can buy it in a little pack of leaves. So to that, I add a cup or 2 of spinach. The spinach is looking rather weak. I'm gonna have to find the good leaves here. And as I said, just shove it all in a food processor. Make your life easy. To that, we're gonna put maybe a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. All my cooking, unless it's baking, because baking has to be precise, but all of my cooking is eyeballed. I just kind of eyeball it and taste as I go, make sure it's good, and yeah. that's how I do it. So leaves in there. Jeez, my spinach is weak. Okay, some cheese. I used to put pine nuts. I used to put pine nuts in there too. However, they're expensive and I don't do it anymore because I don't really taste the difference. As this meal I'm making, I don't eat this unless it's a cheat meal. Just want to reiterate that. This is a meal for Chris. This is good if you're bulking. It's high calorie. It's high in fats. Good fats because it's olive oil, but it's still fats. Just put a little bit in until we see how the consistency is. So yeah, it's not the best if you're cutting, unless you're being going into ketosis. If you're doing ketogenic and your carbs are super low, then it's fine because it's very high in fat. It's got cheese and oil, but it's very versatile. You can put it on meats and eat it just like that, or as I said, Chris needs higher calorie and carbs, so I put it on pasta for him. Sorry. So then you just let it. That's really it. You got pesto sauce. It's really super easy. It's just pesto. Easy. Cooking is easy. Meal prepping is easy. So, I want to show you my chili. I added my spices and my tomato sauce all there. It's gonna go into my crock pot where I have my black beans, and that's it. You just cook it, and it's really simple, really easy. I'm gonna put the recipes for both the pesto and the chili in the comment section. The pesto, just put it with a pound of meat, and you can eat it as is, or put it with a pound of meat and some pasta or grain. You can even use like rice if you want. Okay, that's Meal Prepping with Marg, episode 1.